Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome back for another awesome show. Today we're going to be doing the Queen's Spotlight, and I have a special guest for you. All right. For some reason, another my background was looking a little funny there, but I hope everyone is doing well, and thank you so much for your ongoing support. Again, my name is Dr. Jacqueline Kaba-Harrison, and I am the host for A Queen's Roundtable Show, as well as the Queen's Spotlight and the Born to Lead docu-series, the Born to Lead docu-series. So if in the event that you are interested in being interviewed, you want some more visibility, you have an event that you want to, publicize, you want to talk about it, look me up. Let's have a conversation and let's make it happen. Okay. So again, this particular episode is I have a special guest, and her name is Linda Murray Bullard. Hopefully I'm pronouncing everything okay, but I'm going to bring her on in just a moment. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her first. So Miss Linda Murray Bullard, the business plug. She specializes in helping businesses navigate government contracting through certifications, strategic planning, and compliance. As the founder of LSMB Business Solutions, she leverages over 50 years of experience and certifications in Six Sigma and project management to small businesses. Let me make sure I'm saying that correctly. Hang on. Certifications in Six Sigma and project management to guide small businesses in accessing local, state, and federal opportunities. Her expertise includes NAICS codes, application processes, and leveraging certifications for sustainable growth. An award-winning author and coach, Linda's workshops empower minority-owned businesses to secure funding, build partnerships, and win contracts. Her mission is to equip businesses to succeed in the competitive government contracting arena. All right, so go ahead and give her a verbal, or shall I say, one of the air claps. All right, because I'm going to bring her on and let her introduce herself, and she's going to tell you all about what she does and who she serves. Well,
Hey,
hello, Miss Linda.
hey there. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm doing well. I
Well,
am
good.
so excited to have you here on the show. I truly am. And I appreciate you accepting to come onto the show.
Well, let me say thank you for the invitation. I do appreciate it.
You are most welcome. So I gave them just a little bit about who you are, who you serve, but go ahead and introduce yourself for us.
Absolutely. I'm Linda Murray Bullard. I am a business strategist that help businesses around the world to put framework under their business ideas. I do that by coaching, by classes, and by connections to viable resources that help people to build sustainable businesses for the long term.
I like that. Sustainable businesses. Because, I think a lot of people, and I'm sure you've seen this a lot too, people start up in business, right? And then you look around a year or two later, they're.
Yeah. Those statistics say 50% of businesses close in 18 to 3 years.
18 to 3 years. Wow.
Yeah. That's not cool at all. That's a lot of money. And people think, well, I'm a serial entrepreneur. They think that sounds sexy, but it's not. It's not
Right.
sexy. The only people getting rich off that is the government because
Right.
they have to pay for all those licenses and all those startups and all that money that they invest in those ideas, and those ideas never take off the ground.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I know everyone is excited because I know I'm excited for you to dive in. And I just want to kind of piggyback. Everybody, I'm kind of getting over a little bit of a cough. So just bear with me. My voice may kind of crack a little bit too. Don't statistics show that Black women are how do I say this? I guess maybe the fastest growing population of
Absolutely.
entrepreneurs, right?
It does. It does. We are doing well in starting businesses.
Okay.
However, the part that is getting people is a lot of times most of us have not had entrepreneurship training. And so we just build a business based on the idea of what we did working for someone else. But entrepreneurship, you're holistically everybody starting out. You're the bottle washer, the pancake maker, the ironer, the cleaner, the cook, and everybody. And so teaching you how to do business well means most times is how is your back office set up? Like, is it working for you or against you?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So so how do we start? I know you're the business plug. Kind of, you know, kind of gently bring us into, because I know you do so much. You have a wealth of experience. So where do we start? So people, okay, they seeing this Miss Linda. Okay, so what specifically do you do? Like, do you work with, like, do you have a brick and mortar building? Do you do online? Do you do groups? Do you just work with individuals,
So
companies?
yes, 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 and yes, and yes.
Okay.
I do all of that. But
Right.
but what happens is, so I have a friend that allows me to use his brick and mortar because most times I'm virtual. And so most time I'm online just like this, and I'm reaching people all over the world. So it's not necessary that I have a brick and mortar every day because I serve mostly outside of where I live. So across the country. But the first thing anyone that has a business idea should do is go and grab all the free resources. That means going to sba.gov and finding where the nearest small business development center is near you. You do that by putting your zip code in, and it'll tell you where the offices are. Go there because they give you a free business coach. They give you free coaching through an attorney, and they also will answer all of your account management questions. You hear some, I'm by the window, so excuse somebody just spit by on the motorcycle. But but you go to sba.gov, go find out where your local small business development center is, and then go there because you get a free business coach, a person like me. You get a free hour with an attorney where you can ask questions in a group setting. So somebody may ask questions you didn't even know you had. And you also get access to a free accountant in a group setting. And so that way you can ask about financial questions about how to set up and get started, right? All of that is free. You pay that when you pay your taxes.
Okay.
So their job is to keep your business open, is to help you keep your business open. Go there first. Then go to score.org. So it's score.org, score.org, because there you'll find a mentor. And here's what I do. So I'm a little different from most people. There's probably a SCORE organization in your city, and I advise you to use it. However, I also advise my students and my clients find where in the United States that industry is popping and get a mentor from SCORE from that region.
Oh,
Because
okay.
they're going to know a lot more than somebody in Hicktown, Tennessee, Tennessee, where I live, right? So finding where your industry is popping and getting a mentor from that region in your industry, that's a game changer.
Okay. So, okay. And that mentor, so that's free?
It's
Or how
free. It's free. These
oh,
are retired executive directors who volunteer their time to
okay.
help businesses. Yeah.
Oh,
My
this is-
clients have had exceptional work with exceptional success
yeah.
working with their SCORE mentors.
I mean, this is, you know what? Let me just say this, ladies, and just those two things. How long we been on now? 10 minutes? Well, look, you've been talking for what? 5, 4? I'm telling you that is so valuable because as soon as we get off, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna get online because and here I go. And the thing of it is, it's like everything is so accessible now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can do all this from home.
Yep.
So you
Yep.
don't, I mean, you want to go, like I'm tied, connected to my local SBDC, but I'm also connected to an SBDC in Texas. Like I had to give that information out this morning to a client that's in Texas and looking for somebody that they can talk to.
Okay.
It's a global, it is a national program. And so no matter where you are, there's one, if you're near a big city, there's one in a big city near you. And sometimes if you're near a college, there's one at the college near you.
Okay. Because I was just going to say that, because I know some people might be in smaller towns,
Right.
then like I know here I'm in Michigan, so we have, Michigan State, we have U of M, so they probably might have one as well. Now that you mentioned that about the college campus, so okay, I'm definitely gonna check that out. Thank you, Linda.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
But they're all over the country, and there are
Okay.
quite a few of them available. And their jobs, they have government dollars to help you.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's a resource that you can reach.
Okay, so let me, if you don't mind, if it's okay. So I
No,
know you
no, no.
specialize in government contracts. So
Yes.
how did you get into doing that? Was that something that you did like in a corporate position? Like how did that come about?
Well, so what I try to do is answer a need. Like a
Okay.
lot of people are teaching how to start businesses. And so
Hmm.
I have people that are, learning how to start a business, and it's necessary. That's necessary. And I start thinking about how can I use my expertise to enhance the ecosystem that's already out there. And so I noticed that there was not a lot of players that look like me in government contracting. And there's not a lot of players that look like me that have sustainable income. And I'm really, really tired of hearing us saying we're serial entrepreneurs when we're just opening and closing businesses. So I thought, how can I use my expertise to help us to do business better? And I am a Kauffman Foundation affiliate. The Kauffman Foundation is the #1 entrepreneur philanthropist in the world. And so they've given me access to their curriculum. So companies hire me to come in and teach their businesses how to do business well.
Okay. Okay. I like that. All right. So that way you do that for large companies, corporations, and you
Absolutely.
also help, the small businesses, do
Absolutely. I do one-on-one. So my business is set up to be a business to business, and it's
okay.
also a business to consumer. So I actually work one-on-one with a few clients, not many, but with a few clients to help them get structured. I have a 360 business assessment where we comb through your business idea, and I make you a checklist, or you make a check. Together we make a checklist that helps you to find out where your gaps are in your business model. So therefore, you have a checklist, and sometimes it can take years to get all the things in place, because I recommend that you not do more than 3 things in a 90-day period, because I want people to focus. Right. So if we have a list of things to do, I ask you to grab 3 of them, the top priority, prioritizing that checklist, and then working them 3 at a time. It keeps you more focused, and you can actually see the results of your efforts.
Okay.
So it may be set up a Facebook page. It may be make sure that you have minutes. If you're an LLC, I'm finding a lot of LLCs don't have minutes, annual minutes. So it may be creating your annual minutes. It may be all the things that you need in order to be a viable business. That's okay. It says 90%. It says 90%. The statistics say 90% of people who have LLCs do not have their minutes, or do not have their business documents. And minutes is one of those.
Okay. Okay. Don't have business documents, and minutes is one of them. Okay. Okay. All right. So the government, okay. So my original question was about how did you get it in terms of like the government, contracting. So, okay.
I
So
saw a need. Absolutely.
Saw a need. Now, the business plug, how did that
Yeah.
come about?
So I had a student who I used to teach for the Bright Bridge Women's Business Center here in Chattanooga. I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And one of my students there said, every time she would ask me a question, I'd give her an answer. And she was like, oh my goodness, You are a plug. You are really a plug. Like you're plugging me into all these free resources. And I'm getting being she said, I'm taking notes, I'm doing all this writing. And so Paul C. Brunson is a protege of Oprah Winfrey. And I got to meet Paul face to face, and we did it was a hot seat call. And you ask these questions and they come up with 10 ideas. And one of the things Paul said, you're not just the plug, you're the business plug. And so Paul named me the business plug after my student named me the plug. Okay. And so that's how it's been. That was in 2017. So I'm internationally known as the business plug.
Okay. All right. I love it. I love it. Okay. So I'm trying to be able to, elicit some questions to be able to have you talk a little bit more about, what you do, how you serve individuals. So what have I missed? Because I know I missed something.
Yeah. So how I got started, most times people are interested in my startup story, right? So my startup story is when they implement, I worked for a premier insurance company, health insurance company for 26 years. And when they implemented Obamacare, the ACA, I lost my job. But I didn't want to lose the 26 years I had spent in business, in corporate, learning things. And so I decided to repurpose those things and open a business, writing resumes and business plans. Those were the things I was giving away when I was in that job. And so after that, I found out, oh, wait a minute. I'm writing business plans and I'm doing resumes for people, but the business plans, people aren't as smart as they need to be in business. So I'm giving them plans and they're like, okay, this is good, but they tell me I can't use it because I didn't write it. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute, let me redo that. So I started writing business plans with my clients. So I no longer provide you a business plan and you go skirt off into your future. We actually sit down and we spend up to 4 weeks walking through your business plan to make sure that you understand all the numbers and that you can intelligently articulate exactly what the plan says, because it stopped being a canned item and started being more customized per customer. So depending on what you do in the world, I craft for you a customized business plan in your industry. And I've been doing that now. March the 4th will be 12 years.
Wow. Okay. So you really enjoy it. I mean,
love this.
I can tell when you talk about it, you talk about your business and how you help. I can tell that, one, your stuff, and two, that you really enjoy doing what you're doing. Serving.
I love doing this. I can tell you that in September 2021. So I lost my job. I wrote a book called The Well Ran Dry, Memoirs of a Motherless Child. Talks about me losing my mother on Christmas Day to the Hong Kong flu virus. I became pregnant with my son at 13. And then I wrote the book to talk about our lives, how it was missing my mom, and then how it was raising my son at the age of 14. My son today is a battalion chief in the fire department. He is, I kid him and say he's over the northern part of the county. He said, no, mother, I'm over the entire county when I'm going to do this. He's always correcting me, but he just turned 50 and he is the light, the first light, my first love. But then his daughter, my first granddaughter, graduated from Emory University. So I wrote the book to teach people about the power of choice. But then God said, you're not done yet. And so I repurposed those things I learned in corporate and bought Steve Harvey's book, Act Like a Success. And actually Steve was my mentor for 2 years. Spent 2 years with him and his people. That's how I met Paul, is through Steve. And so followed him around the country with 84 other people. And we were his first school of business acceleration. Still, God said there was more to do. So I started doing more and being out and going to different events and paying good money to go sit in seats so that my clients would not have to. Because what I found is people don't have time to learn all the stuff that they need to learn in order to have a successful business. So what I do, and my clients are insured, that I sit in those seats for them. So I bring the information back to them as the shortcut. And that's why most people hire me, is because after they get with me and I'm helping them get certified or I'm helping them register in all the different places, they're like, I could not have done this without you. And so I basically hold their hands through the process. And I build friends, and my clients are getting contracts and they're in line for different grants, and they are, knowing how to apply what they've learned. But I give them the shortcut.
Okay. And we all need that shortcut, like like the Cliff Notes.
Absolutely. I am the Cliff Note.
Yep, the Cliff Notes. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we will be right back. And don't let me forget, I want you to talk about the I saw something in your feed, on your LinkedIn feed, about you being on TV.
Oh yeah, the blocks.
Okay, right. So I don't want to forget. Okay, so I may forget. Sometimes the memory ain't what it
Hey,
used to be. So don't let me forget. I
that's
definitely
both of us.
want because I definitely want you to chat a little bit about that too when we come back.
Absolutely.
All right, we will be right back momentarily.
Hello, realizing your potential women. What does it really mean to take recognition of your full potential? I am She's Purpose Key. Realizing your potential means discovering and fully utilizing your abilities, talents, and skills to achieve what you're capable of in life. Now, as a part of realizing your potential, I have had the opportunity to encourage you to level up and bring your abilities, talents, and skills that you are currently working to a larger TV network audience. The question is, are you looking to not just create content, but stream on Amazon Fire app and Roku TV? Creating on your own time and schedule also allows you to be in control when to release on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Android. You can invite others on your show and monetize to grow your business. Here's what you need to do. Click on the form to push forward to your larger reach.
We are back. All right. So, Miss Linda, go ahead and take it away.
Absolutely. So you asked me about the blocks. So last year, June of last year, I flew to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and ironically, it was the weekend of the 101st burning of Black Wall Street when I was there. So I was very intrigued to be there. But we were in a casino, a hotel out in the desert, and we filmed a reality TV show called The Blocks. And you can find that TV show at betablocks.com. And it is an internet show. It is going to be on Prime Video. And I was probably one of the oldest people there. But it was 89 of us out of 4,000 applications were selected to be a part of that show. And so if you find it, I'm in season 15, episode 6. You'll see my appearance. But it was an experience in learning how entrepreneurs can learn how to pitch their businesses. Like, it was a whole exercise. I had never pitched my business in all the years I've been in business. And so it was a complete experience. I still meet with the cast members. We've been meeting almost a year now online, just talking about our businesses. And I've had this whole network of people that I wouldn't have met any other way. And so it was an experience, like I said, and it also added to my repertoire. So I like being around people, and it was an entrepreneur show. So that was right up my alley. So it was a great opportunity. Great opportunity.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Wow. Yeah, because I knew I had saw, and I said, I have to ask her about that so she can tell us about it. So it's all about, everything is under the umbrella of entrepreneurship?
It's a contest, actually. So
Okay.
what happens is all of us, they divide us into like 5 or 6 different groups.
Mhm.
And we learn about entrepreneurship, and we have to pitch our businesses. And the ones that pitch the best win that day to get on stage and go against the other winners to see who's going to be the blocks person. They give you a shirt to wear. that says you're the winner, right? And you get to wear that shirt until the next day when they pick the new people, or you get to continue wearing it if you continue to win. So yeah, and so at the end they gave away $15,000, $10,000, and $2,500. I think is what they gave away to 3 different businesses.
Okay, nice. You know, that kind of reminds me of it's Shark Tank. Like,
Yeah.
People go in there and they pitch.
Exactly. And so the judges were investors, were VC investors, just like Shark Tank. But the difference was we were in this auditorium, and we were in a hotel that had been the meeting room had been turned into an auditorium, and you pitch you're not really pitching for. It's like Shark Tank, but it's not. In that you are competing with other people, as opposed to what is the most convincing and doable process.
Okay.
So yeah, but at the same time, every day had its own topic, and you had 15 minutes to propose your pitch.
Okay.
Yeah, it was different, but a great experience.
I'm so tempted to say right now is I want to hear your pitch.
Woo, honey. Let me tell you, not ready for TV. That's what that was. That's exactly what that was. Like I told you, I have never pitched my business ever until that opportunity, until that experience. And I was like, I'm terrible. I have taught people to pitch their business and they get money. Like I have a client that got a millionaire mentorship because I taught her how to pitch her business. She does temporary hair color. And at the end of it, the guy was like, I never even considered that, but your pitch has made me curious. Now, even if I just do it for the weekend, I'm going to try your product. So I've done it. I mean, have pushed other people out to do it, but had never done it for myself and learned, oh my goodness, this is not as easy as it appears. So yeah, it was total, everybody out there. And a lot of us were people who still good in the game. We are, right? But in real time, a lot of us left deflated. we were like, oh, wait a minute, this is imposter syndrome on steroids.
What to do? Right? Yeah.
But it was a good experience, though. I'm glad I went.
Like it sounds like it was a wonderful experience, and you got to meet, connect with some individuals that you still meet with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing is more than win a contest. Because like I said, I had never pitched my business, and the people who had been there, some of them were repeat. They had been there before and they lost when they were there the first time. So they went and studied up and came back. And so they were ready this time. And so they, and then some of them were brand new. It's just that they knew what they had just become very accustomed to doing their pitches. And so, my whole thing, after I saw how flawed my pitches were, my whole thing was I need to just network and get to know these businesses. And I was like, Lord, where else can I go and have 88 other businesses that I can support?
Right.
At one time. So yeah.
Right. Okay. I was recently listening to George, I think his name is George Fraser. Does that name ring a bell?
Dr. Fraser. Yeah, I've met Dr. Fraser.
And he was talking about a pitch. And he was saying that you should be able to give, he called it an elevator pitch.
Absolutely.
Say, who you are, where you're from, obviously the name of your business, and what did he say? And how you help people, and then I guess go into how you like quantify it.
Absolutely. And so elevator pitch comes from the idea that you're in a building elevator and you have 15 floors to go down. So each floor is a second, right? So you create pitches are 30 seconds, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, like they can go up from there. I have a friend who won the Essence. She won $50,000 at the Essence by pitching her business. And that $50,000, that's pretty good. And then Pharrell just gave her $100,000 for pitching her business, right? So it is a good business revenue source if you can perfect it. And so, but basically you're in the elevator and you're with somebody who can change your life.
Right.
And they ask you, so who are you and what do you do?
Right.
And so you tell them who you are and what you do. But what we teach is you have 4 seconds to grab their attention. And so your opening line should be boom. So we start off with, do you know how people, because you want to reach them emotionally. So in my case, you know how people start businesses, but they can't get enough money.
Right.
And then my business helps people get sustainable income by introducing them to how to prep for government contracts.
Okay.
And I'd love to tell you about it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay.
And then, of course, you say, my name is Linda Murray Bullard. I'm at LSMB Business Solutions. You give them a card. And okay. And the thing about the card, try to get the digital card, because sometimes you don't have the paper card. And I went to that event, that TV show, had ordered 500 cards, left them all at home. They didn't get packed. And so one of my peers gave me Blink. I put it on. Yeah. And I've been using Blink, like it's $35 a year. I'm like, yes, let's do that.
I learned about that too. I went to a Forbes event, and it was a lot of younger individuals, and they put me up on their phone, you know, and they did an account, hooked me. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Business card, okay, you know.
Exactly. And it's worth it, right? Because I probably have given out more of those cards than I have my other cards.
Right. Yeah. And everything is so digital now.
Absolutely. You know? And it pays to be digital. And that's the thing. I really work well with people 40 and over who are not necessarily tech savvy. I'm such a nerd. So in corporate, I was the liaison between the IT people and the end users. So yeah, so that's what I did in corporate. And so I'm using it in my business as well. I can teach people how to use computers well. Up level your digital aspect, get savvy in tech. Even if you're 50, 60, 70 years old. I've had that experience.
All right. Wow. Yeah, because I always have to be taught something. Like whenever I would start a new job, and they like, oh, okay, well, we have these three or four operating systems that you got to learn. And it's like, already I'm up like, you know what I mean? Just the anxiety of it all. You know, so I would be one of those people that you be helping.
I would love to do it, because my MBA that I received in 2017 is emphasis on data analyst. So I'm a data analyst, a business data analyst. And so I do analytics. That's what I do. And I have that brain. I'm a nerd at heart. Nerd at heart. But I've been in data analytics for the last 20 years on my jobs. And so it comes easy to me. And computers seem to work better when I'm present, because people will say, well, I can't make it do anything. And then I'll walk up and it wasn't doing that.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I have this thing with software and engineering and the whole computer technology thing.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta like it, you know.
I do.
That way you're not, because really you have to get in there and you got to experiment. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
To mess up and try this and try that, you know, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. I bought my first computer, and my oldest son was off at the Navy, and I bought my first computer. I want to say he got out of the Navy in 95. So I bought it, I think, in 93. But I introduced him to chat rooms, because back then, we had AOL and the chat rooms and all of that. So he came out of the Navy. He was like, oh, I feel like while I was sleeping, the whole world moved. So I taught him computers, but I bought one and played with it. And then I went to school to get the degree so I could call, the copy paste and all those things. I was doing that manually long before computers came out. But I learned how to do them using a computer. And I've always been intrigued by technology. Like right now, I taught just this past Saturday, I teach a business entrepreneur class on Saturdays. And I just taught them how to use DeepSeek, which everybody's in Chat GPT. But DeepSeek is what China just released just last week. And so I've taught my students how to use it. And I enjoy doing stuff like that.
Okay. I don't know. As soon as when you said that, first thing that came to my mind was the whole thing about TikTok.
I know.
My mind just
And
going.
that's why they did it, right? Because everybody was upset about TikTok, and they came out with DeepSeek, like within days of TikTok going offline. So yeah, it was off less than a day, but people were like, ugh.
Right.
But I love staying on top of technology, and I always encourage my business owners to own your following, right? Your contacts. It's important for you to have, because you keep seeing Facebook went down a day last year. DeepSeek, TikTok went out, just recently. Like, you don't own a platform. As much as we try to put that, disclaimer, this is my information and you don't have my permission to use it. You are on somebody else's platform telling them how you want them to do business with you, which is insane to me. But you need to create an email list or a text message list or something, a website, like all the different things that you need. A lot of times what people do is they have a business idea, and the first thing they do, let me get a website. And you may not be ready for a website. So let's get a Facebook page first. Let's start there. Less expensive. I'm all about, spending money where money is needed when you first start up, so that you don't spend your money frivolously, so that you get exactly what you need instead of just buying all this stuff just to say you have stuff
you don't necessarily need right away. Or
yeah, absolutely. So, absolutely. I'm all about the minimum viable product. Like, what is the least amount you can spend to get you up and running?
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the time, and I always like to end on an educational note. Now, you have, and I'm serious when I say this, Linda. You have given so many valuable tips and tools, that I knew, and I already knew that. I knew that before you even came on the show. But give us some, maybe talk to us about what have you seen, and I know you kind of touched on that earlier. So, you don't have to necessarily go that route, but what do you want to leave the audience with? I'll put the ball in your court. What
Absolutely.
1 or 2 tips, or whichever. What do you want to leave the audience with today?
Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, but make sure the person that you're investing with has receipts. Because what happens is a lot of people will take your money. I get clients all the time. They say, "Well, I gave X, Y, and Z $5,000 and they didn't do anything." You want to get a lot of people will tell you what to do, but they won't tell you how to do it. They want to charge you additional money for that. Like they charge you thousands to tell you what you need, and then they charge you more thousands to tell you how to get what you need. Don't do that. Invest in yourself. When I learned that Oprah has 6 coaches, I was like, okay, what 6 coaches do Oprah have? Because I need at least those 6, right? So don't be afraid to get a coach for your finances, a coach for your business, like operations, a coach for marketing, right? A coach that's going to help you to do strategic planning. Like I'm a business strategist, and planning is my thing. I help people to see where they are and where they want to go and map out a strategy to get them there. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Just make sure that whoever you invest in has receipts and has people. Like, I always send people to my google.com reviews for LSMB Business Solutions, because those are my customers giving their honest feedback. I always ask, give me honest feedback. And so that's what you need when you're looking. Make sure it's honest, because a lot of people that first day, they get all their friends and family, go out there and say something real nice about me, but you want to look long term. You want to look at receipts. You want to be able to talk to their customers and ask them questions. Anybody who's reputable has no problem with providing you with reassurance they are who they say they are.
Okay.
But you're going to need help on this journey. So get you some help and get different coaches.
Okay.
Don't put all the weight on one coach and say, well, this one coach is going to do it all. Yeah, no.
I have heard that. I have heard that people have a coach for different, different phases, because just like different phases in life, your business goes through different phases.
Absolutely.
Like you might need someone to focus on the marketing, or someone to focus on, I don't know, your email. I don't know, whatever. But
the finances, right? You need a person to help you with finances. Hopefully that's a CPA. You need somebody who's good at marketing, so they can teach you how to market your business to your customers. It's not one size fit all. It is varied based on who you are. You need somebody who has business operations, because sometimes we know how we worked for Mr. Charlie or whoever. We know what we did for them, but we don't know the whole gamut. And so you need somebody who can go in and make your operations lean.
That makes sense. Okay. I think of it as a coach for the different seasons.
Absolutely.
In your
Absolutely.
business.
Absolutely. And as you go up, I only coach people to $250,000. I get them from idea to $250,000. After $250,000, I pass them off to someone else.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Wow.
My goal is to work without me.
Right. And you know what? And you're clear about that.
Absolutely. It's build your own business. It's my business model. I teach you how to build your own business. And so the people that work best with me are the people who are not afraid to do their own work. I will show you exactly what to do and how to do it, but it's up to you to do it. I never work harder than my business owner, and nobody should.
Okay. Yeah.
Nobody.
Because being a therapist, I can't work harder than a client. They gotta want it. It's their life, right?
Exactly.
So,
Same philosophy. Exactly.
Well, Miss Linda, thank you so much. This has been a pleasure. Go ahead and let everyone know where they can find you. Like, I know you hang out on LinkedIn, but tell us your social media handles and if there's a website, what that is, and things of that nature.
Absolutely. So the website is getthebusiness.org. That's GETTHEBUSINESS.org. Getthebusiness.org. And then from there, you can link. I'm on LinkedIn, like she said, my name, Linda Murray Bullard, or my business, LSMB Business Solutions. I'm on all social media under LSMB Business Solutions. I'm on TikTok as Linda Murray Bullard 1. That's the only place it's different. But in most places, I'm LSMB Business Solutions, all over social media. The book that I mentioned, you can actually get it from Amazon. It's called The Well-Ran Dry Memoirs of a Motherless Child. And so it is an award-winning book that you can get off the internet, anywhere you buy books. I say anywhere. New stores have jumped up, and I'm not in the new stores, but the ones who've been there for the last 13 years, I'm in those stores.
Now, can they get it off your website as well?
They can. Absolutely. Okay. I have a bookstore on my website.
Okay. All right. Nice. All right. Well, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for tuning in. Again, excuse me, you have joined us today for the Queen Spotlight, and the Queen today was Miss Linda Murray Bullard. So if you're interested in being spotlighted, being spotlighted for the Spotlight show, or the Born to Lead docuseries, look me up. Let me know. I can be found on LinkedIn under Dr. Jacqueline Kaba-Harrison, and I'm also on Facebook under the same name. I'm on Instagram too, but I'm not really on IG. Let me just. You can find me on either Facebook or LinkedIn. Okay, and shoot me a message or email me, and let's connect and let's make it happen. So thank you again, Linda. And we are going to conclude our episode today. And thank you all for those that have supported. And again, you can find us on Realizing Your Potential television network. We stream on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. We are also available on the Android and iOS app, and of course, Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So you have so many different ways that you can listen to us. So make sure that you do. Make sure you download the app, and if you feel to do so, give us a good rating. All right. So thanks again, and until next time, everyone, take care, be well, and I'll talk to you next time. All righty. Bye-bye.